Hello Georgetown, I'm Beverly Enos and you're watching Spotlight Georgetown. You can find us Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. You can find us other times, but those are the standards every weekend. Now this is part of your own cable process. If you'd like to come and learn how to use some of the equipment, or learn how to use the cameras, or do some editing, work with the computers, you'd have a blast. They have all the best toys in town. Today we're talking to Jennifer Clement, and we're talking to her about her art. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Now, you're not from Georgetown. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Lowell, Mass., home of Betty Davis and John McNeill Whistler, one of my favorite painters.
Really? Now, I met you at the Black Swan.
That's right.
Because I took one of your painting classes.
Thank you. I appreciate
the ArtistBar.
That's right.
I was amazed. I walked in, and 2 hours later, I walked out with painting. All done. Completely done. And it was so much fun. So we're going to talk about that today, but also part of your other art. Tell us about your background as an artist.
Well, I began painting and drawing in private lessons when I was a child. I went to Notre Dame Academy in Tingsboro, where Mom had me in private art lessons. I showed an aptitude for it when I was very young. I was an only child. I kept myself very amused with my art. Not that I was antisocial, but I kept myself busy, just as I do today. If I'm home, a TV or a radio doesn't go on, I'm busy creating something or making something with my hands. Mom tells the story that she had me in private art lessons, and she was, paying away, trying to keep paying the bills, and she kept saying to me, "What did you create in art lesson, in your art class?" And I kept saying, "Oh, I'm making a horse. I'm making a horse." And of course, now I'm only, I think maybe, 8 years old, 6 years, however old you are in the first, second grade. And I kept saying, "Oh, I'm making a horse." And my grandmother and her would say, "What's with this horse? I mean, here we are. We're paying for these lessons every week. What's going on?" So finally, the end of the year came, and the bus driver stopped the bus, and Mom and Graham ran outside because they thought something was wrong. Well, the bus driver had gone to the back of the bus, and he was carrying something, and they thought maybe I was hurt. And as he came around the corner, there was a papier-mâché horse that was a life-size pony. So I had created this horse, and that's sort of where the love began. It was bigger than me. I actually remember as a child standing on a chair to create this piece that was, bigger than me, bigger than life.
I'm making a horse.
I'm making a horse.
Okay. Do you have a formal education in art?
Very formal. I have 4 degrees. I have a fine arts degree majoring in painting from Montserrat College of Art. I also have a teaching degree from Montserrat College of Art. I have an interior design degree, and I have a marketing and communications degree. So
you've covered all the bases, haven't you?
I like to learn, and I like to make things. So it's just natural. That's the education. And there's also the education of being out there and teaching myself as an artist and being a business person. The business part isn't so easy for me because it's so creative. It's hard to tie me down to the business part. So I'm learning the business degree. The ArtistBar is teaching me the business degree to return my emails and such.
And pay the bills. And
that's right.
That's what's sitting on my desk right now.
That stuff. Exactly.
Yeah, that's the stuff that I don't
know.
Now, what experience do you have teaching and showing your work?
For many years, I taught private lessons, and through the ArtistBar, I still really do. I also taught at the Young Artist Program at Montserrat College of Art, preparing kids from high school to get into colleges. I was there for the portfolio class to really gear them up and try to get them some, hopefully, money going in. And I taught at Hamilton Wenham, and I enjoyed it immensely. It was it's a little too tied down for me. It's, to show up and have to show up Monday through Friday is a little bit difficult for me. I'm a bit of a...
And teach what's on the curriculum.
Well, you can make your own curriculum, but you have to stay, within guidelines, and that's okay because I can make I can make it work, as they say. But I like teaching on my own. I like no boundaries, and I love meeting, the new people.
So what made you start the Artist Bar?
The teaching I enjoy so much, and I enjoy the adults. I think with the adults, a lot of times when you try to start a lesson program, it has to be 10 lessons, 12 lessons, a group, and it's a commitment of time for adults that most adults just don't have. I think that we're all so busy running around and trying to make everything happen that to say, you're taking this Tuesday from 7 to 9 every Tuesday for 12 weeks is probably nearly impossible for most people.
It is. I run into that too.
Yeah, that's what I think. So I thought the Artist Bar is perfect because it gives you the introduction to the process of creating art, and it introduces you in such an easy, carefree way because there's no commitment. It's you pay your money and you leave, and you can come with friends, you can have cocktails, you can make it serious, you can make it not so serious. So it's a non-committal, fun intro to art. And that was sort of my thoughts behind it, is how can I get more people involved on in an easier avenue to get there.
Why the title, The Artist Bar?
Well, The Artist Bar, I think when I think of cocktails being done with art in a more casual atmosphere, I just thought I'm great with coming up with little names, but I thought to myself, the Artist Bar, because it could be paint that's sitting on a bar that, you go into your studio and there's where all the paint is located, or it could be a bar in the terms of alcohol.
Get a glass of wine on your break.
Go grab a glass of wine because that loosens everybody up, and we love wine.
Yes, we do.
We love a taste of the grape.
Now, are there more women or more men?
More women.
More women.
We want the men to come here, and I don't know how to get the word out to men that if they want to know where all the fun, creative, lively, lovely women are, they're at the Artist Bar. So all the single men I think I should go on Match.com and take out an ad and say, in case you're looking for wonderful, creative, smart, fun women, they're all at the Artist Bar. So look at my calendar. So
or do one of those happy hour that the women get in free and the men pay or something.
I know. I have a funny story about the men. A lot of women come to my parties and I say, bring your husband next time. Bring your husband. Oh, couples night. And they've said to me, oh, my husband says painting is for the ladies. Well, I was recently at Sea Glass in Salisbury at a party, and a hockey legend, Terry O'Reilly, was there. And he's very interested in it. And every time we have parties, he and his wife come walking through, and he's coming to parties. So I said, Terry O'Reilly, the Boston Bruins, I think he was a pretty tough number.
Oh, he was.
So I say to myself now, when the ladies say, oh, my husband, I said, you tell them Terry O'Reilly says painting isn't for girls. So take it up with him.
Yeah.
So there you go. I don't think it's just for the ladies.
I have men in my embroidery classes, my bunker classes.
Good.
Not a lot, but I have them. And usually they can come without their wives. The men come alone.
Good for them. And they say that, I think it was, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was Tom Brady who was knitting because it's good for their fingers and being nimble. So all you men out there, and it's a good stress reliever. And I will tell you, I do a lot of corporate events. Besides what I do out at these parties, I do corporate events and team building, and a lot of that is men. We meet over the 50% of men, and I walk into these team building exercises, and the men have their little devices, and they're texting and doing and emailing, and they're not quite really into it. And within maybe 10, 15 minutes of the process and the art and the painting, then all of a sudden I see the devices going off and getting put away. Because they've been, through their company, they've been almost, pushed into this team building.
It's a requirement.
And then they end up being the ones that are just really enjoying it and paint it away. See my Facebook page, you'll see all the men painting away with big smiles on their faces. So they do enjoy it. It's just how do we get them there?
Now, along with the Artist Bar, you also have a studio.
That's right.
Where is that, and what do you do there?
I have a beautiful studio at Western Ave Studios in Lowell, Mass. It is a beautiful old mill with, I think, 250 artist studios. They have open studio the first Saturday of every month, and then an extra week for the holidays. But it's Western Avenue Studios in Lowell, Mass, and it's fabulous. It's 14-foot ceilings. I have 3 amazing windows, brick on one side. And what I'm doing is I'll be taking part in the open studios. I'll be holding painting parties there where people can, I'll just have a monthly party where people can just join alone or with a friend. And then I'll also be offering the space for private parties. So you'll be able to come into a real artist studio, and it's fabulous. The pitches, and there's a link to it on my website, but it's a beautiful space, and then people will really get the feeling of creating art in a studio. And I'll also be able to expand my program where I could do private lessons there or small group lessons, and we maybe will venture off to other materials. I might be able to let people bring their own materials, and we could push on to pastels, or I think I might be painting on some silk scarves and things like that. I think we can once I'm in my own studio space, we can push the boundaries of what we create.
Now, what are some of the locations that you do the Artist Bar? The Black Swan.
Yeah, the Black Swan.
Being one here in Georgetown.
We love the Black Swan at Keon's. That's monthly. And we are hoping to do a painting of the golf course. So we hope that all of those members will come along, and maybe some wives would like to give their husbands a gift for the holidays, and I think that would make their favorite hole at the golf course, right? As long as it's not the 19th hole.
The bar.
That's right. Well, there goes the Artist Bar, right? And then we do Keon's. We do the grog twice a month. We do sea glass and sols. Well, the grog in Newburyport, everybody knows the grog. It's like Cher. It needs no introduction.
Right.
We do Amesbury flatbread. We do sea glass in Salisbury. Capri is a new one in Salisbury. The same people own it. It's right across the street from Sea Glass. We do
E.J. Cabot.
E.J. Cabot in Beverly. I do Chit Chat Lounge in Haverhill, which is actually a really funky, cool wine bar on the second floor. It's all exposed brick and like dim red lights, and it's actually a really kind of cool, hip place.
And you do these different nights?
Different nights, generally once a month. I do a lot of private events at country clubs. We've done a lot of local country clubs, Wentworth by the Sea, Salem Country Club, Ipswich Country Club. We're on our second and third go-arounds for the country clubs.
And you'll do it in private situations?
Absolutely.
As you came to my studio?
Absolutely. I do private events. All you do is call me or email me on the website, and we book a date, and you get your peeps together, and we have a party, and you choose. In that case, you get to choose your painting.
Right.
So that's really fabulous. And I'm now going to open the studio up for those private parties as well. So a lot of people think they have enough room in their home to have 15 people, but once you get seating 15,
right,
you see that
with tables.
Yeah, you see you don't have quite as much space. So I think the studio will work because you don't have to clean up before your company comes. I won't either. So there you are.
What is it about the Artist Bar abroad?
I am starting this program where I hope to get it together I'm offering a week or two in Tuscany at the beginning of the summer, maybe in May. I think that a lot of people who are interested in art have, nobody to travel with. And if you're going to make that expense, not everybody wants to go paint or draw, or, maybe you want to go to Tuscany, but your friend doesn't. So I think it gives you a group that the caliber of people who are coming, what they're interested in. It takes a certain person to take a backpack and some art supplies to Tuscany. So I think you're in a fun group, and the idea is go draw during the day. It's a very low key. It is not a type A trip. It's not running around sightseeing. We go to the landscape. We see different parts of the landscape. We draw for the afternoon. We might sit on a hill. We might have a sandwich and a little wine in a bag. I mean, it's all relaxing, and it's about eating and drinking and seeing the countryside, because before, my mentor was George Gabin, who was the founding father of Montserrat College of Art. And for years and years, he'd say to me, Jennifer, you must come to Tuscany, because he'd go there every single summer. And I didn't ever have the money to go. I didn't ever have the time to go. It just never got put together. But at the end, he got ill, and he said to me, it will be my last year. You must come to Tuscany. So my 50th birthday coincided, and I said, I'm going to Tuscany. And I went off, and he had been going for 40 years, and he shared the restaurants, the towns, the places to paint. His last gift was he showed me everything he learned and saw and believed and painted and lived and breathed for 40 years. And now I have that, and the ArtistBar is all about, and he's one of my reasons for starting the ArtistBar, is his motto was share the love, share the art. And I want to share that. I want people to come. Travel alone. You don't need anyone. You'll be with a good group. If there's 10 of us and we're all headed out that way, fabulous. I have friends who own a vineyard there, who George introduced me to. It just happens to be down the road from the most delicious restaurant in Tuscany,
How can you beat it?
A girl's got needs.
Would this be for people that have more experience with art than go in and paint for 2 hours?
Absolutely not. If you have no experience, that's okay. You can sit on the mountainside and you can bring a camera. You can dabble in a sketchbook. You can bring pastels and a sketchbook, and you can create and see. Just because one person's is more experienced doesn't mean you can't have the same feelings and views, and you can see it as a novice. How beautiful, how beautiful.
Now, you also were going to change the subject dramatically.
Oh.
You do parties for children.
I do. I like the little kids. I love what they create. I do private parties for children. I love what they create. I think
Are they less inhibited?
They are.
Yeah.
What I try to get from my adult guest after 3 glasses of wine, or whatever number of glass, we don't count at the ArtistBar. What happens at the ArtistBar stays at the ArtistBar. So whatever, after we get the adults having a little sip, that's what we try to get, is what these children naturally just come with. My children have created brilliant things. I have images on my website also, theartistbar.com. But the kids are free and open, and they're making horses like I was.
So this could be a birthday party.
Exactly. I do birthday parties.
Wouldn't that be fun for children?
I know. The kids love it. The kids love it. I think I may even have a video on my site. I'm not sure. I'm not that tech savvy, but I do have them on my Facebook page. I have videos of kids at birthday parties, and the kids love it. The kids love, and they go home. Apparently, at these birthday parties nowadays, you're meant to buy everybody at the party a gift. So
right.
This is actually works out well, because it ends up being the gift the kids go home with and an activity. So it's a twofer.
Yes, it is. What do you find most rewarding about the ArtistBar, adults or children?
Oh, I just love, well, first of all, I love to see what they create. And I think the kids, of course, are thrilled with what they create. Sometimes the adults are really tied down to, they're too tough on themselves. I see the beauty in their work because I see their hand and their touch and how raw and beautiful it is. Not always do they, but when they do and when they realize they've created something beautiful that they never thought they could, they look 10 years younger. You know how they say the most beautiful thing a woman could wear is a smile on her face?
Yeah.
Because when these women and men realize what they've accomplished and created, and they've done something they didn't think they could do, creating art is a time that you let go and you're not thinking of anything else. It's completely for you. And when you see you've created something, it makes you look 10 years younger. I see the light and gleam in their eyes. When they leave, they hug and kiss, and I see what I've done. And I love it.
The one that I went to, it was a group of friends, younger, much younger, and then myself. By the end of the class, we all were looking at each other's pictures and commenting on them, and it was a great time. It was just a fun evening. Something different.
Absolutely.
Something different.
And the people do. There's a camaraderie that you find. You all go in and everybody's a little hesitant and nervous. And after that first break, everybody's together in it. You're all a group and there's no negativity. That's one of my rules. And there's no negativity. And everybody's just so supportive of one another. And everybody, I say you come in as one and you leave as a group.
Now, if you had a wish to come true from your work at the Artist Bar, what would it be?
I have a lot of wishes. I wish that people would bring art into their life every day. I wish that people would learn to look at the world around them differently. Just driving here today, I turn, I look at the view, I see the trees that are dying in the end of the summer and fall, and I see such beauty that it fills me up. And I think if I can pass that joy and that sense of seeing and feeling the beauty around you, everybody's day could be a better day. Because we all have the trials of life being overwhelming. But if you can take a moment and drink that in every day, it's the fountain of youth. And I hope people will come. My message isn't just art. My message is about, the Artist Bar message is about believing in yourself, seeing the beauty in things, seeing the beauty in others. And I hope that as many people will come, and I hope I can spread my message, share the love, share the art to as many people as possible.
Now, how can people get in touch with you?
TheArtistBar.com, and my accent's a little thick, so TheArtistBar.com is my website. It has the links to corporate events, my calendar for the public parties, my contact us page for private parties. It has a link for the kids' parties. It has a link for Western Studios, which I'm not certain when this is airing, but my first open house is Saturday, November 2nd from noon till 5 p.m. at Western Studios in Lowell, Mass.
It also has a link to all of the different paintings people can look at and choose from.
That's right.
Where you're going.
That's right. And my Facebook page has all past paintings and past parties, and you can really see it all.
The Facebook
live.
page is under your name or the Artist
Bar?
Bar?
The Artist Bar is that, and the Artist Bar is my Facebook page, and I ask that everybody likes it because I don't hound people with emails. I send probably 2 mass emails a month of what's happening, and we'll be actually filming a TV show December 9th at Salisbury at Seaglass. The Artist Bar hopefully is getting a monthly television show, and I hope once we develop that, we'll share it with other communities.
Oh, cool.
So there, that's it. So it's theartistbar.com to get in touch with me.
Well, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
It has been a joy.
Thank you.
It absolutely
Thank
has.
you.
It's been fun.
I really appreciate you sharing the art with me.
And we love having you here.
Thanks. Thanks so much.
I'm Beverly Enos. This is Spotlight Georgetown. Don't forget, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Join us again. Bye for now.